These days, people say, oh, respect is earned. As far as I'm concerned, respect is a right.
The people who claim to have rights to a certain level of respect are most times the people that are actually least deserving of it.
I don't know why somebody would like to change your sex.
Sodom and Gomorrah may happen very soon, that we all expect. Because you are either a man or a woman. I'm a beautiful woman. Tomorrow I get up and say, oh, I want to be a man. It means something is not working rightly up there.
I want to believe that it's either a trend or a sign of the end time.
It's not a trend and it's not a mental illness, it's an identity. How makes you think you can tell someone that, oh, you're doing too much just because they choose to identify as something?
This thing, it might have started innocently, it might have started as a bunch of people wanting to express themselves, but it was hijacked at some point. Just do you and do you and just stay there, do your thing. We are in a state of constant revolution. We have to stop.
Here are the prompts we'll be discussing on today's episode. Please signify if you agree with the prompt. Respect is a right for elders.
I know that these days people say, oh, respect is earned. I mean, from my generation, you don't even have to earn it. As long as you're older, respect is demanded.
Can the disagreeers now speak?
Respect should be earned. Over the years, I have seen many situations where some elders do not put themselves in that position. I see no reason why you don't exhibit characters that are expected of you and you expect that thing to be right. Would that not be having something that you do not merit? Age is important. Also, is your character.
Do you not respect your father or your mother? It's a natural thing, as far as I'm concerned. Then, when you now want to earn that respect, you now talk of the character. But as far as I'm concerned, respect is a right.
Respect is reciprocal. When you give it, it will surely come back to you. It's not the right of elders alone. Even the younger generation deserves respect.
I agree with what you said. Based off of religion, based off of your home, they always say, respect your elders. Even in the Bible, it says to honor the elders and you grow old. But then I feel like if you want to talk about respect, for you to claim it as a right, it just feels like an odd way to go about it, especially because I feel like respect is a subjective thing. I feel like people accord people their respect based off of different things. Some people choose to respect because of knowledge, respect because of money. So for you to now say that you have a right to that respect just because I happen to be older than you, it's a little, I just don't agree with it.
Right is a very strong word.
Exactly, right is a very strong word.
Because, I mean, in my experience, a lot of times, the people who claim to have rights to a certain level of respect are most times the people that are actually least deserving of it. So I used to work somewhere and she was one of those people that demanded that she was respected. Based on that demand, all she inspired in the people under her was fear. Now, mind you, everyone should have a base level of respect. I agree with him. But there is a certain level of respect that I think is just reserved for feats. You do something that is worthy of respect and you get the respect, regardless of your age.
Maybe the word rights may be too strong.
Very strong.
I mean, you don't know me. I may just be sitting in my corner. You don't have a right to disrespect me. There has to be a base. You have to respect me as a human being. Then if I step out of line, then you can say, oh, I thought this woman is someone I could respect, but with her character, her attitude and all that, I think I should just step it down. My name is Olori Justina. I'm on the side of the elders. I'm into media productions as well. Well, what I said was, as a human being, we all deserve one form of respect. It may not be your right, because I think the word right was a bit too strong, but as a human being, we deserve a form of respect.
Please signify if you agree with the prompt. Being LGBTQ is just a form of mental illness.
These days, it's like a form of self-expression for some people. I do believe that as it stands right now, there's a problem. We are taking it too far. Every 3 months, someone somewhere comes up with a new letter to add. And then now people are identifying as everything and anything under the sun. I feel like at some point you have to draw the line. We fought for something and then we got that thing and now it's constant revolution. Nothing is enough. So you can see someone wake up to me and say, I'm trigender, pansexual, this, that, blah, 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 joining so many things. My pronouns are they, them, they, them, all manner of stuff. We just really have to just, say enough is enough.
Sodom and Gomorrah may happen very soon, that we all expect. Because you are either a man or a woman. And like he said, we've taken it a bit further. All the letters are now beginning to expand. Before it was what?
It was just LGB.
It was just LGB. Now we have that
LGBTQ
and TQ
plus IA.
Like the prompter has said, I think it's becoming a mental sickness. apologies, really, but we're really overdoing it. It's very simple. You're either a man or a woman. There are no in-betweens, okay? And you can't just decide that, I've been a girl for maybe the last 10 years of my life. All of a sudden, I want to try to see how it feels like to be a man. As far as I'm concerned, that's a mental illness.
Can the disagreeers now speak?
I don't think it is a form of mental illness. I just think it's people expressing themselves how they want to express themselves.
Like whenever they talk about LGBTQ, the first thing everyone says is, oh my God, they're taking it too far. Oh my God, they're doing this, they're doing that. And it's like, how far are they actually taking it? How far have they taken it? Does it affect you in your everyday life?
You know, I feel like at some point,
Does
some
it
topics
affect
doesn't
you
necessarily
in
have to
everyday
affect
life?
me
Okay,
for me
but
to be able
then-
to speak on it. I mean, who knows? I could have a kid tomorrow that wakes up and says, Daddy, I identify as a microwave. What do I do then?
That's not realistic. Do you
Hold
understand?
on,
That's
chill.
not
Okay,
The
realistic.
thing is, you always
hold
go
on.
to the extremity.
Do you agree with me that currently they are transitioning children? When I was a child, I had this Star Wars shoe that I believed could fly for 3 years. I was dumb. I was a kid. So you're telling me now that child can decide that he's a girl. What are you saying?
That example, I agree with, because there are lots of things that you don't allow people decide till they get to a certain age. So why is it that something so big, such as completely changing, is something that you're letting a child decide? I feel like it's possible to wait till they get to a certain age and then they can.
So
But
when
I
is
think
the
it's
right age?
18, the age that we wait for anything. No, I'm being so thorough. I just feel like it's a huge commitment to think that a child can make for themselves.
I don't know why somebody would like to change your sex. What kind of discomfort do you feel to that extent? I can't get it. Whether it's fun, what kind of fun? If it's mental, I don't think it's mental illness, really.
Some people just want to belong. They want to follow the trend.
My name is Oladapo Keru. I'm an actor. I belong to the elders. I don't understand, even till now, what will make somebody belong to such a community. I do not understand. I don't know why a rational thinking human being would want to be involved in such a, I don't know. I don't think it's mental illness.
Spiritual problem.
No.
I'm kidding now.
I know.
Come on.
See, if it's not spiritual, the only way to go about it is a mental sickness. Because what would make you wake up and say, I'm a beautiful woman? Tomorrow I get up and say, I want to be a man. It means something is not working rightly up there.
I want to believe that it's either a trend or a sign of the end time. How will I just wake up and say I can't just imagine it. My name is Selena Vincent, so an educationist. To me, it's a sin and it's a sign of the end time. So I don't know why the younger generation tends to do that. I don't know, maybe they see it as a trend. I don't know, they just want to belong, they don't want to feel it, they just want to experience it. To me, it's a sin and it's a sign of the end time.
I don't think they just wake up and decide that
not
they
a
want to be a
trend.
boy, though. It's not a trend and it's not a mental illness. It's an identity. And I feel like people reduce it when, one, you start a conversation about it and then you only talk about the extremities. It completely waters it down. That's one. Two, you talk about it with such levity, like all of you are saying that, you just woke up one day and decided to be a boy. It's a big commitment. It's not something that you just wake up and, I think I want to be a boy today. And something that people go through, they go through the thought process, they experience so much discomfort, like you said. Can you imagine waking up every morning and you are so discomforted with who you are that you took the extreme measure to change that, to be comfortable in your identity? It's really crazy to see someone want to do that, and then for you to reduce it to, you're probably a mental illness, mostly because we don't understand this. Because a lot of what I'm hearing here is, I just don't get it, so it must be this. My name is Joroba Fekemi. I'm the CFO of a ticketing company called Jetron Ticket. I also work as an accountant in the entertainment sector, and I am a Gen Z person. Someone's sexuality is their identity. So for you to say it's a mental illness simply because you don't understand it, it's not right. It's not easy to be a gay person in the world, especially in Nigeria. Like gay people, they get discriminated against, they get berated. I've seen people actually get yelled at in public. So I do not see why anybody would actually intentionally say, I'm going to do that. I'm going to wake up today and decide that I want to take on this new identity. It's their life that they're choosing to live. And it's a brave thing that they choose to do. So to say, it's a mental illness, so dismissive.
Coming from the extremes is valid. The extremes become the norm. It's just a matter of time. Like my question actually was, where does it end? Like at some point we have to just draw the line and say, okay, we're done. among transgender people, there's a very high rate of suicide post-transition. And then you have articles that are trying to say stuff like, oh, the reason that is happening is because, they experience a lot of hate. I don't think so. I think it was an underlying problem that wasn't addressed. Gender dysphoria was a whole thing until very recently. Now it's a taboo word.
Right.
Nobody's allowed to say gender
Say that,
dysphoria.
right.
But up until very recently, it was something that was recognized medically and was treatable. And whether we like it or not, we've entered a society where it's a society of mass psychosis. Now there are things like minor attracted persons. There's people that believe that their attraction to kids is valid.
It's not valid though.
But that's the thing, they are under one umbrella.
Are you really going to compare someone saying they're attracted to a child to a boy saying he wants to kiss another boy?
Why are we acting like we're not all chronically online? Come on, it's a thing.
I'm not saying it's not a thing. It's just why you putting them in the same breath, and you can't compare them.
At some point, I think these are my two things. One, let's just tone it down a bit. Two, do you, but do you. We are at a stage now where we want all of us to do you. Just do you and do you and just stay there. Do your thing. I believe that this thing, it may have started innocently. It might have started as a bunch of people wanting to express themselves, but it was hijacked at some point.
You cannot make a valid argument if the only example you're going to use is extremities. How many people have you met in your life that have told you, oh my God, Chris, I want to turn into a wolf? How many people have you met that have tried to turn you gay, have said, oh, because I'm gay, Chris, you have to be gay with me too?
I have met people who are of the opinion that everybody, to some degree, is on the spectrum on some level. And it is an ideology that this human being walks around with, and he actively engages with people around. I'm not
Now, people that walk around thinking that everyone has.
I feel like the problem. I feel like the disconnect here is this. I don't have a problem with like the first three letters, LGB. But the moment we start reaching those TIAQ plus people.
Okay, but what makes you think you can say
we're doing
that?
Too much.
How makes you think you can tell someone that, oh, you're doing too much just because they choose to identify as something? Like, what gives you that ground to say, I feel like the LGBT is okay with me, I'm very comfortable with it. That's what the entire scope of people should do. People are not out there trying to recruit people saying, oh, come, we'll be gay. Oh, come, we'll be gay. Okay. They're really not. And the examples that you keep giving is as if that is actually what is happening in your everyday life.
But you do agree, though, that the number of trans people over the years has increased. Now, would you say that? So now, the thing is that your argument would be that the reason why the number of trans people have increased is because people are suddenly coming to their identity. But my argument is that, assuming that this entire topic did not exist, those people would have probably been doing something else.
What makes you think that something as important as gender, sex, and your identity is something that will be subjected to influence alone? Because basically, you've not cited any other thing.
In the world we live in today, everything is subjected to influence.
Influence.
Down to how we perceive ourselves.
Are you saying the other
Africans.
things should stop? Do you feel this way about the other things that are subjected to influence, or just LGBTQ?
I woke up one day, I watched the news, and I saw that one woman was selling these wool-knitted things that baby girls could wear to give them prosthetic penises. And the age range was between, I think, 2 to 6 years old. And I was watching, I'm not going to call the news channel, and they were just, oh my God, this is an amazing move.
That is a problem. It's still not enough to say
it is very much enough. My main point was that we are in a state of constant revolution. We have to stop. I'm Chris. I work in the creative industry, so I'm a Gen Z. My colleague was saying that you can't base an argument on the extremes, and I disagree, because the extremes today are the norms tomorrow. Do you understand? And how can you say that you don't consider the extremes when making an argument? Murder is an extreme, but don't we consider it in society today? Don't we have like laws and rules for those type of things? As human beings, do we ignore the extremes when there's a possibility of the extremes occurring?
Pause if you're enjoying the video so far. Now is a perfect time to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of this. Now, let's move on to the next prompt. Marriage isn't as important as the elders make it seem.
At least at my age, I have seen people who went into marriage and within a month came out of it. Marriage is good, there's no doubt about it, but staying together is also very important. You go into marriage, at least you can have benefit of companionship. I know how I feel when my wife is not there, and there is a lot of virtue in being married. It should not be the all in all by itself.
I just agreed because I don't think marriage is a necessity. And I feel like a lot of times they make it a big deal. It's something that you have to do. But I think it's possible to live a very fulfilled life without getting married. I've not had a lot of good examples of marriages. So I already have a stance that marriage is not something that I feel like I have to do. But then on a normal basis, you can live a complete, fulfilled life without being married. And a lot of times, if you're not a married person, people just automatically discredit you. Marriage is just a contract, basically.
People can do really amazing things. And one elder, someone will look at you that you're an incomplete person because you don't have someone by your side.
Right?
If you do happen to like strike out with luck and you meet someone amazing, cool and awesome, amazing. But if not, you can still live a very fulfilling, complete life if that never happens to you. And even if you don't want it.
Marriage is good. Everybody wants to. Not everybody though. It's not like I will now be killing myself for it. I will not like I believe in doing my own thing first, like building myself up to a point where I can now decide that okay, you know what, it's a good spot I'm in right now. Let's bring someone in.
Can the disagreeers now speak?
For me, marriage is important from whatever angle you look at it from. From what he has said, companionship, friendship, growth, even in your career or your business. For me, the most important thing is marrying your friend. Once you have that, the rest will just fall in place. Yes, marriage, you'll have ups and the downs, but if you're a friend, you'll be able to have a good one.
To me, marriage is very, very important. And I use the word very, maybe because I'm a widow now. And I lost my husband when the marriage was still very young. So, and I know what I went through, the process of bringing up my children all alone. So to me, marriage is very, very important. And I would not want my daughter to miss that. You have someone to lean on, someone to talk to. You know, there will be sometimes I'll come back from work, I will be looking for someone to talk to. When my children were in the university, I was all alone in the house. Marriage is good.
I just don't believe that it's something that is a do or die affair.
Marriage is for the like minds, not for children. You may have it all, do everything you like to do because you have money, but when you are married, there's a kind of responsibility.
Absolutely.
There's a kind of people around you will know that this person is responsible.
Yeah, there's a check.
You understand? There are some things that you'll be doing now, even because you have the money, that when you bring in a woman into your house, when she starts producing children for you, your lifestyle will change.
It's a weird way to say giving birth, like producing children for him.
Like, yes, now.
I mean, for yourself too, though.
Both of them have a child together.
Okay.
You know?
I think what's happening here is like the women that have tasted marriage recommend it. Good ones are recommending it.
So that's where influence comes in as well.
Yes.
Do you see it? If you haven't tasted it, you won't. You won't understand it until you're in it.
The Bible says two shall become one. That's where the issue of prayers must come in. We have also seen where the two never became one. Couldn't just work on it. They had to go their separate ways. It's not as important as some elders make it. Actually, some elders push young people. You can't continue to be in my house, you are over 30, you are over... Under such haste and rush, the pressure will even be worse if your younger sibling now, before you, and they begin to look at why the hell, what do you think you are doing? I have also seen such pressures derail some young people.
Please signify if you agree with the prompt. Gen Z should stop complaining. The older generation had it worse. Since no one agrees, can all the disagreeers now speak?
So firstly, did not have Tinubu, did not have APC governments. I have parents now, uncles, I have aunties, and I've seen like what their lives has been. They had a lot of things going well. Nigeria was a better place, much better place than it is now. And we are here stuck, suffering, trying our best just to make sure life blooms the way it should. My mom would just be like, what you guys are going through now is crazy. Like the inflation, for someone that has tasted both scenarios to come and tell me that you guys have a lot to think about, I know that is crazy. I'm Onyeka Chi. I'm a social media strategist and I'm a music producer as well. And I'm a Gen Z as well. You work 30 days, right? You give so much time, effort, sweat, and then the money you do make, when you like just sit with yourself and just look at what it is, like it amounts to almost nothing. You're just doing so much and there's nothing to show for it at the end of the day. It's heartbreaking, really.
When I was younger, I remember buying a crate of egg for 240 naira. And now, same crate of egg is
6,000.
so bad that a girl came online recently and was complaining about the cost of living, and somebody brought up an argument of crate of egg, and another person said, how would a copper be buying a crate of egg? It's gotten so bad that a crate of egg now is seen as a luxurious thing. So, and that's the era that I'm starting life.
I feel sad. While we were growing up, then our parents would say, oh, life was difficult, but we still had some form of luxury. You guys don't play. You can't play on the streets. We played on the streets. We took the public bus. My dad used to take me to school. And then one day I just said to him, I said, Dad, stop taking me to school. I want to take the bus. All he had to do was just buy me my bus pass. The elders at that time, they were very kind. You see a little tiny girl trying to board a bus, somebody will practically lift you and put you in the bus and tell the bus driver, oh, this girl is going to drop off at so bus stop. But you can't have that now. You'll be molested. You can't even take a public bus because even the buses are not kept well. We could drink water from the tap, the public tap. But these days, Gen Z, you have to buy your bottled water if you don't want to have typhoid. Children of these days, I'm sorry, they don't have anything.
Why is it that it is now that you see people come out in the internet, you begin to mention some foods, these food are not good, canned food are not this, and during our own days, we eat all those things. Canned food, no cancer, no all these pronounced diseases on the internet. So I really feel for them. Does that mean that they're not really producing it well?
We used to go to the beaches on Sundays. Do we have beaches anymore? No. I'm sure some of you have never been to a beach. Yes. We don't need to pay. You just get into your father's car or your mother's car and they drive you to the beach. Our parents take us to the beach and just let us roam. And we are safe. We will come back. You go to your neighbor's house. These days, I'm sure your mother will say, oh, don't go out, stay in the house. Watch cable network, watch that, play games. We never used to have all that. I used to have to come to your house. I don't need to call you. I just show up in your house and have your meal with you. When we're bored, we take a walk. You know, life was easier, friendlier, peaceful, and everybody loved everybody. It was everybody's responsibility to make sure that you turned out well. But these days, somebody is misbehaving, we all look the other way. That's what's happening.
I remember my elder brother, we were discussing something, He said, Dapo, do you know that when I was in the University of Ibadan, they used to serve us this one in the morning, this one in the afternoon, this one. Even me, I went to university now, I didn't even see any traces of not to talk of today. It's the formula they use to eat in the university now. It's either 001 or 010 or whatever. Probably because the population is increasing. Because I remember growing up in Surulere too, Leventy stores was close to us.
Exactly. Kingsway stores.
Mass chocolate, Smarties. You just go buy, come back, Big Deep and the rest. We are hoping that things will get better.
I feel like whenever people raise these arguments up here, people who disagree with it would always say that, oh, we didn't have technology back then, we didn't have this, we didn't have that. And I agree with that in the sense that, like now you give the example that you couldn't just call your friend, you had to walk over to her house. Yes, the fact that you can call someone now, it makes things easier, but it doesn't mean that the times are easier. In as much as things have been progressing, so many more important things like safety, they're regressing and they keep regressing. Mental illness is regressing, so many job opportunities.
I think now there's a lot more pressure on people who actually want to do it the legit way. Like everyone I know has at least 2 jobs. If you ask the average Gen Z who is like crushing it every day or trying to make something, half hour what's going on, he'll tell you, maybe I sew at nights, I do hype man in the midnights, then when I wake up I'm an influencer. They're just because they don't have a choice.
Apart from technology, what else again are you guys enjoying? And the technology has exposed so many people into something else.
What we had in our time is you go to university, you come out and you get a white-collar job. Or if you didn't want to go to higher institution, you go learn a trade. It was this or that. But now, the Gen Zs, they have everything. Like he said, being creative. Oh, I'm sewing at night. I'm having a 9-to-5 job during the day and stuff like that. So the opportunities may be there for them, but are they assessing it?
Like even if the opportunities are even there, the value at the end of the day is not even there anymore.
The value.
Like
is no longer
someone
there
can
anymore.
say, oh, I'm into UI UX, I'm into DevOps.
And you're getting paid this
and
amount.
you're getting paid
but
6 figures, but
come out
when you
come
now
out
do
and
plus
use
and
that
minus,
money
you
in
can't
real
start a
life,
family,
and
you
you
can't
can't
do anything.
actually
You're just
use it to
buying
do
data and buying food.
anything.
You're just buying data, buying food,
paying
sleep,
for
wake
Uber.
up, repeat.
That's it.
There's no value for it. So you just 30 days you're working, but there's nothing.
Age equals wisdom. Since no one agrees, can all the disagreeers now speak?
The Evidence is always right before us. We have this huge situation going on about the Senate House of Reps man and Natasha. All that's going. Of course, we cannot now say age equals to wisdom in that situation, can we?
Age equals experience. That's it.
That's just it. It's experience.
And even that experience itself is limited.
I think these are the most progressive set of elders I've ever seen. Like they're not the one place. Like I mean, the prompts you're agreeing to is wow. They were agreeing to a lot of prompts, and I was surprised. Now, like they said, this thing is not right, and they agreed. I was like, like this. They just seemed cool and more open-minded than what I'm used to like engaging with on a daily basis. So we are used to people who that elder being a right thing. They take it as an opportunity to be oppressive. They use it as a golden card to be just shitty people. And because I'm older, you have to make room for my bad behavior.
If you see the truth and you don't take it, you are wasting your time. It will catch up with you. So it's better to say it as it is, whether it favors you or not.
Experience is what equals to wisdom. Like you could see someone who is 70, has never been to a farm ever in his life. And you can see someone who is 20, has been in the farm since he was 10. You want to start a farm, who do you go to?
Nobody knows it all. Age can connote some level of wisdom. Having experienced so many things, maybe you know how to navigate, but it does not translate to absolute wisdom in everything.
Wisdom is innate. You are born with it. So it doesn't matter what age that you are. Your situation determines what experiences you've had. If one has had a hard life, maybe for the 20 years of his life, he's only able to have a meal, and you meet someone who's had 3 square meals all his life, experiences will be different. When he sees food, he will appreciate it because he's known to have had only 1 meal. And then you see someone who's had 3 square meals, he won't, because as far as he's concerned, this is right, it's normal, it's nothing. So that's why I say wisdom and experience can be used interchangeably. It has nothing to do with age.
Please signify if you agree with the prompt. The older generation are the cause of the problem we face as a country today.
It's solely because most of the people in leadership positions are members of the older generation. And it has been that way for such a long time. It's like the people that were old, people before them didn't replace them. They got older and still stayed in that position. And look at where we are right now.
I think I agree. Majority of the leadership in this country is a certain demographic. And how you even know is that my dad recollects having leaders that he saw rule when he was younger and they're still ruling. The older generation are the cause of the country, are the ones that are ruling this country currently. I was born into the world that they created. That's just it. I was born into the world that they created. There's no nuance to it. There's nothing like that. The problems you have in this country, the problems you have majorly in the world actually, is coming from one set of people.
Where is the growth supposed to come from? We are recycling the brains of the same people that have been there. There's no freshness to it.
You're even coming at it mentally. Let's take it physically. If we decided to do a fitness test right now, 80% of the government will be wiped out. And even if we make it as simple as make a coherent sentence, walk from here to here, I won't call names, but people will fail it. And they failed it on national TV several times.
Imagine we have a minister of finance that probably knows nothing about blockchain. How?
Okay, we take the blame.
Like, do you get?
We take the blame. We take the blame.
And the disagreeers now speak.
I accept the blame. I think that it has to do with how most of us were brought up. We were brought up in an era where what your father said was final. The Gen Zs are lucky. They're a bit outspoken. Even your mom would say something, and when your father comes, the story changes because everybody must align with the head of the family. When we were growing up, my mom, out of her niceness, she would say, oh, what do you guys feel like having for dinner? Some would say, oh, we want to have bread and tea. Some of us who are a bit outspoken would say, no, we want to have some rice. Some other days, she would say, oh, today is Eba. And you want to speak, and then she looks at you. It's not a good day to talk. So some of these things were things that we grew up with. We couldn't express ourselves, but the Gen Zs are ready to go. They are ready. Oh yeah, bring it on, we are going.
For me, I don't think it is fair to lay the blame entirely at the feet of the elders. Because in this same country, we have had 20-something-year-olds at the helm of affairs in this country. Even at that age, 20-something years, there was no focus.
Some became head of state at 30-something.
Under 30, what did they do? I can tell you that the problem we are experiencing today as a country did not start today. It's an accumulation. So it's a mixture. Maybe more of the old anyway, but we also know that these people have been there. At my age, I have seen very young people at the helms of affairs in this country and in so many other countries, both in Africa and in the world. And they had the mantle of leadership, but what did they do with it? I don't think it's fair to ascribe the failures that we see to a particular set of people. The problems we have is both leadership and followership.
It is not our fault. It is what has been going on from one generation to another, and that is why every Gen Z now has to face it. But I just pray that one day we realize it in this country, and let's go for the Gen Z to be at the top.
I don't think the solution is putting a Gen Z there, sure, because you never know. Yeah, and I don't think that you can just say that because the Generation Z, they're different, they're more outspoken, we can put them in places of leadership, and it's to be a sure guarantee that things will be different. You can't, because the person could have a lot of ideologies that have been passed down also, that they haven't unlearned.
I agree with you, yeah. If you take a Gen Z person and you put them in a place of leadership, they will meet a beautiful network of incentives that was designed by people that came before them.
If I have my way, I want us to even try the younger generation to be in all the helms of affairs of this country.
Because
Let's
they're
even
all
for a
there.
change. I have Gen Z as children. I copy from them, and they too copy from me growing up. I don't want to be biased at all, and I say it's the way it is.
I believe my generation is mostly misunderstood.
There's this general narrative. Gen Zs are arrogant, Gen Zs are entitled, Gen Zs are rude. It's a coping mechanism to the world that we were born into. We were born into a very oppressive society. And if you don't speak up, who is going to speak up? We live in a society where because somebody is older, because someone is in a position of power, you shouldn't be able to speak to the person anyhow. Mind you, elected official works for the people, so I'm his boss. But because the elected official, I have to say bye bye him and lick the ground that he walks on. I strongly believe that outspokenness is exactly what the world needs right now.
I feel like the misunderstanding comes because a lot of Gen Zs, they don't succumb to what they should be or they feel like they have to be. They do what they want to do. And I feel like that's something, because she mentioned the last time that you didn't have the option of choice. It's what your dad said, or it's what someone else in a position of authority said, that's the final thing. You didn't have the position to think, but do I want this though? And now I feel like we do. And a lot of people, that comes off as being too confrontational, or it comes off as trying to cause an uproar or something like that, when it's really just realizing that you have choice. Do you understand? And that's something that a lot of people don't understand, so they attack.
There's timidity in the approach of the older generation. We don't have that. We don't have the luxury for that. Why should we be? Look at where we are currently. There's no need for us to be timid. Everything we do are kind of like born out of that need for us to be defiant of, the current system.
We are the Sorosuke generation.
I think it's understandable for a particular generation to see the other generation as misunderstanding their own perspective. Reason being that they are not a part of it. I look at my children. There's that tendency for me to not really understand where they're coming from. Even the last election, we were so divided. They want a younger person to be there. They just did not, But I can't understand it, but they can. The way we functioned then, it wasn't the best, but it worked. So some of them understand the constraints and the conditions under which many of us operated.
Can the disagreeers now speak?
The easiest way out of it for me is the word called diplomacy. My generation were taught how to be diplomatic about the truth. Gen Z's, red is red. But for the Generation X, it's not exactly red, but it could be wine. So that's diplomacy. Gen Zs may misunderstand us in that area because the Gen Zs are outspoken, they are witty, ready to go. For Generation X, we want to think it through before you make a move. But for Gen Z, no. It's how it comes, they give it to you.
When I had my first grandchild, our own generation, when you give birth to a new baby and you notice jaundice, the older adult will tell us, take the child outside, let the child face the early morning sun. When I introduced that to my daughter-in-law, she totally disagreed. She said, no. Let me go and search the internet. Everything I tell her when the child was growing, she will first go to the internet and I'll fold my hands and be looking at her. After 2-3 days, she will still come back. Mommy, do you think, let's just try that your own method. Let us try that. Well, so now that she had the second one, everything I say, she will totally agree with me.
I don't think your daughter-in-law misjudged your intentions. My generation, we like to really verify things. Like, we don't just, as it is, we just take it like that and let's just be going like that. You know, nobody ever tells us, oh, it's red, and then we'll just say, it's red. We'll check first and say, okay, yes, it's red. And you yourself, you said it, that when you had proven that your advice was good, then she was like, okay, yes, this is a trusted source. So I feel like a lot of the problems you even have as a nation now is because we don't have that intuition to go and verify, you know. So I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it's a good thing, if you ask me.
Both generations were exposed to different circumstances. And so I feel like there will always be a misunderstanding. What will make it work is if there's grace on both ends. Like, older people need to realize that there's some things that the younger people understand that they don't, and younger people need to understand that there's some things that older people understand that we don't, and we just need to give each other grace. And everything
with
will
that,
work.
we just strike a balance.
Yes, we'll just meet at a...
I'm not sure it can happen, but
It would
it's nice
happen.
to see.
It
at
would.
least.
It would. Not it can. It would. It would happen. It would happen. We're getting there. We're getting there.
I mean, see everybody here.
We're getting there. You can
This is
see.
proof. Let me not lie.
Do you
This is proof.
understand? Now we can have, like he said, we can have a conversation with our kids. During our parents' time, you don't sit down. The only conversation you have is, did you pass? What was your position? And you say, oh, you came second. And next thing he'll tell you, the person that came first has two heads. Do you understand? So it's a one-way traffic. But now it's a dual way. We sit down, we have a conversation. I want to understand where you're coming from, and I need you to understand where I'm coming from. So at that point, we meet.
So if I were to speak to elders, I'll say, when you're approaching these kind of conversations, be more graceful, because you used to be me, but you used to be me during an easier time. Just be more understanding, be more open.
Between elders and Gen Zs, I feel like now more than ever is a good time for understanding to happen.
We need to try to be more accommodating and have a listening ear.
Just because you're an elder doesn't give you an excuse to be an asshole. As we could see, the elders here were pretty understanding. They don't have two heads, so.
So to my fellow Gen Zs, man, don't allow the world that we're born into just stop your fire or stop your shit that you're doing. Like, if you strongly believe in something, then speak up.
It's our time to kind of continue applying pressure on the system, on the government. At least let it favor us for once.
They are used to things happening instantly. Payment system, telephone. They should make patience their virtue.
I know they are outspoken, but they should learn to calm down, listen, and know that what another can see while sitting down, they cannot see it even while stretching up their neck.
So at the same time, also realize that na person we don't follow road, no road. So if you see someone who is older that has done what you want to do before, then definitely you can tap wisdom from that person.
We've come to the end of today's episode. I hope we've been able to find some level of understanding.
High five. My name is Olori.
Yes, that was my name.
You look like my son.
Oh, really?
But he's slimmer than you are.
Really?
Yes.